Hold on, Gringo. Did
No,
you just
no.
say you bought another frame?
No, just move along. Nothing to see here. Move along.
I hope the wife's not watching, so.
Yeah, you're gonna be in trouble. All right, this will
All right.
take a few seconds to
No, it's already live,
dial up.
homie.
Oh, I know it's live. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I'm your host, Robert Michaels. Glad you're here. We're getting all of the pieces together here for a great episode. This is your episode of paraglidingtalk.com. We're going to take your questions. We're going to talk about all things flying. We're going to have a great time tonight. So I'm glad you're here. We don't have a special guest. What I'll do is I'll ask three different people. Once I hit three people that can't or won't come on the show, after the three people, I get insulted and then I just make my own show. Take it personal. So glad you're here tonight. Want to mention a couple sponsors. One of those is ppgsmoke.com. PPG Smoke, actually, Ryan Roberts, he came up with all kinds of cool stuff for us. And one of those most recent things is the Unity headset. And if you haven't checked that out, you need to. ppgsmoke.com. Go check out the Unity headset. And then also chase cams, lamels. There's just numbers of things that are on there you're really going to enjoy. ppgsmoke.com. Also, Harley Milne has a school now. If you want to learn how to fly paragliders, and maybe you're already a paramotor pilot that you're thinking about doing some cross country or some records. You want to break some records. He's done some incredible things, and now he's instructing. So with that said, go check out his website. There we go. Now we're doing much better. Is that Wolf? Wolf's at Moonshiners? Can't tell who that is. My screen is frozen.
That is David Wolf.
Yep,
And he's probably coming to yell at you. He sent you some stickers. You know that, right?
Yeah, I got him right here.
Our Paramotor Nation. He's got a Monday morning.
It's not our Paramotor Nation
7
anymore.
a.m. Eastern
It's called
time. Yeah, 7 a.m. Eastern
Paramotor Life.
There you go. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I think I just have a lag.
Yeah, no worries. He's got a talk show. I'm going to call it radio pod. It's like what? 7 a.m. on Mondays. Check it out. I'll find out.
It's a podcast. From what I understand.
Thank you. You can tell I don't listen to podcasts sometimes.
There we go. That's better.
There we go.
You guys are much nicer
at the office, huh?
They're inside a building because it's raining at Moonshiners.
Ooh, yes.
They got good internet. We don't have any internet here.
They're in a mall. It looks like a mall.
We're in the FBO.
Yeah, there you go. See? FBO.
I didn't know we were on mute or off mute. Hi, everybody.
What's up, David?
There we go. So I wanted to mention Harley Milne School. His website is dreamlifterparamotors.com. dreamlifterparamotors.com. Also, Andrew Fuller, he's got a full-service wing repair and checkup shop. Check out his website, paraglider-inspection.myshopify.com. That's paraglider-inspection.myshopify.com. And the link's in the description. The link is also in the chat. Thank you, Anthony Paragringo, for putting those on there. I want to mention paramotorprops.com. Paramotorprops.com, best place to get new props on the interwebs. Cheap, really quickly. We'll get it to you. Also, if you have questions for them, they have just a really good wealth of knowledge for all things flying. Paramotorprops.com. Our special guest tonight is David Wolf, actually. David Wolf, glad you're here. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
It's
No.
not David Wolf. We're actually doing open topic tonight. We're just going to talk about some paragliding stuff. I bought a new harness. I'm really excited about that. Brand new.
Have you done a hang test yet?
I have done a hang test. I need to make some adjustments.
It's important.
Right after the yeah. Why is that important, Gringo?
Well, I just know it is.
Why is that important?
It's important. You have to rely on good friends. If you rely on just like friends, you may not get there, but
Don't
you're
listen,
playing good
don't-
friends.
I feel like you're pointing fingers of judgment at me.
Just saying.
So
saying.
I'll tell you what happened. Gringo decided he was going to try to be a man and free fly. And he showed up with this harness that was made for like a 15-year-old girl.
Come on.
And Gringo is a gigantic man. And he never did a hang test.
Kind of like a
Oh,
gorilla in
no.
a bikini.
So
Oh,
then
no.
when he gets his wing up over his head, he turns around and runs off the hill. And when it was time to get into the harness, that wasn't happening. And so he was just dangling his entire flight like he got dropped out of a World War II plane. And I'm
And some
trying
of
to
them-
yell at him through the air.
Yeah,
through
some
the
of them
air
have
with the
that
radio.
little strut that you can put one foot on when you launch. You're supposed to put in between your legs, over one and in one, whatever. And that was not set up. That was not advised to do. I didn't get that. And then yes, when I took off, I
That was
went
not
straight
advised.
out. I didn't go parallel, and and all I could hear was Robert on the radio and other people. And I looked up at my left, not more than 20 feet away. Robert's hovering over me, going, "Turn, turn."
I'm trying to tell him that he could have just got closer to the hill and catch some lift, and then he could go reset and we could adjust that thing and he could fly. He's not listening to a word I'm saying. And literally I'm telling him, come to the hill, turn left or right, any way, turn. Not happening. So he ends up going all the way to the bottom and landing in the bushes.
I missed the bailout.
Mm-mm. Yeah, missed the
I was
bailout.
reaching for branches as I landed. You
He
know.
was trying to go to the what we call the hairpin, which is your very last option there. And he didn't make it.
I was trying to
we're gonna
avoid the hairpin because that would be twice as high of a hike, twice as long of a hike to get back up to the car, to the LZ and or wherever you launch it from. So he's got two LZs, the top and then the bailout. And I took off. By the time I got around to the bailout, I was below the bailout. So that didn't work. And
So
then
do
I-
you really
happened.
wished you had the motor at that time, Anthony?
and I heard that I wish I had the motor. That's right.
Yeah,
He
right.
said that. He was reaching for the throttle the whole time.
I love hitting
just-
going to doing ridge lift with the motors, because then you can just, when you start to sink out too much, you turn around, give it the throttle and go back, reset, and just idle ridge lift soaring. And
I'm sending the invite right now to Tony Boyer, who is at Blossom as we speak.
so
And we're
Blossom,
going to see if we can.
Blossom is the mountain that they take off from. I say we. I can't claim that yet because there's a guy, Clark Kent, makes T-shirts that says "Awesome Blossom."
Oh,
And
yeah.
Blossom-
I'll grab it. Hold on.
Yeah, he's gonna go get it. When you fly Blossom, you get a T-shirt that says "Awesome Blossom." Well, I didn't really fly Blossom, so all I get is a T-shirt that says "blah." No awesome, just blah. So they won't give me a T-shirt. They didn't quite fly it.
Just go on Etsy, get
this
one,
is
you'll
the
be set.
T-shirt that it was
Very
supposed to
nice.
be for Anthony.
Robert, if I come out there, can I get one of them shirts? If I fly Blossom?
That's a great question.
We'll get you.
We'll
one.
have to
Yes.
we'll have to ask Randy to make you one.
Well, I'll tell you what, September 21st is my birthday. I'm planning on coming out there, so have it made by then.
September
Do it.
21st. You're serious?
Yep.
Going on the calendar.
September
on the
21st.
calendar.
Are you staying at Gringo's?
You're staying in my house.
It's
I
a big
always
birthday
offer-
for me.
You're going on the news.
I always offer Gringo's house for anyone that's coming in town.
I hear the tacos are superb.
I got you covered.
Yep,
He is a good cook.
that is true.
I'll
He
watch
is a
you,
good
I'll
cook.
watch you fly
Yeah.
from Blossom.
He does great in the kitchen. So I did want to talk about that. I just sent the invite to Tony just to do a quick checkup. We were going to talk about, I had a pretty crazy landing. And
Blossom.
it involves flying over. I'm going to make a bunch of excuses here. I could have landed in this giant wide open space, but I was trying to be the cool guy and land next to my buddy who was on the road standing there holding a sign that says pilot needs ride and a picture of a paraglider. And I literally put myself in a very, very particular situation. Let me just see if I can dial this up real quick. The issue came up when I was trying to come in for my landing. Let's see if I can do this. I'm not going to
Maybe-
share the sound. We'll just
I
share
was gonna
this.
say, maybe Scott can pull it up if you've already got it.
There we
Have
go.
you posted it yet?
No, I'm
Oh,
I'm
then-
editing this video, so you're getting fresh content. Now, we're not supposed to land anywhere around here. That's the preface. I cornered myself with power lines and trees, and this was an unexpected landing. And I got caught in some strong headwind. Now, I am now flying the Mantra. So the M7 is a really fast glider, but
You got a tree.
I did not play my cards right. So a few things that I can share with you. I was on the hill. I was doing really good. We had just an incredible flight. We went all over Blossom. You could probably see some of this footage. I mean, we were playing and dancing, and then here I'm. This was my big mistake right here. I was coming in, and the wind direction had changed at Blossom. Sorry for the choppiness. And right here, I'm probably, I'd say 1,600 feet above sea level. And I really need to be higher than that to get to the launch. Now, you see right here is where I made my mistake, right there. You know what I did right there? I took a picture of Tony down in the field, landed, and then I was posting that on Instagram to say, can you find Tony down here? So that was my first mistake. I should not have done that. And so I ended up joining Tony. This is us standing down there at the bottom. This is pre-edited video, so pilot needs ride. So anyways, the landing could have been avoided. I should have maybe aimed for that big field up at the top there, but I didn't. And then I started to notice the winds picking up. You can't really tell that well, but I should have been going way faster, and I'm like parked at some points. Like I'm flying almost backwards right there for a second. I'm like, yep, I knew it was going to be bad right about there. Just about cuss words. Had to almost stall the glider right there. And then if you look really carefully, I caught some dead branches on that tree. And yeah. So anyways, couple takeaways from that. By the way, no plants were damaged. No equipment was damaged. No pilot was hurt. I stayed on my feet. I have to say that I had to use up every bit of skills that I have in my pea brain to make that happen. So ground handling helped. If you noticed at the end, I didn't just let the glider do whatever it wanted in high speed. Here, let me see if I can. Let me go back and see if I
You
can.
let it down
I'm gonna share
intentionally.
one. Yeah, I was careful about putting it down. Sorry, this every time this switches back, it makes me jump through these little hoops. When at the very end, you're going to see me reach for my risers there, and I pull on my A's. And the reason I pull on my A's right there is because I wanted to make sure that I took the energy out as it's coming down. It's, that's just a kiting reaction. I didn't even think about it. It just happened. That was a natural reaction from kiting and kiting and kiting. No, anyways, really embarrassing. And it's just stupid.
I
You
ran
gotta be
across the same
careful.
kind of issue. it does happen, and it happens often to guys. They just don't talk about it that much. But I've
Oh, yeah.
had the same incident happen to me to where the winds started picking up down lower. I was out of gas. I was just floating in, and all of a sudden I'm paraparked and flying backwards a little bit. And, yeah, maybe I might be able to make it. Yeah, tunnel vision. I can make that, and yeah, it happens. I'm glad that you were safe and that you were all right. Nothing was damaged. Your glider and stuff's all good. That could have went way worse. But yeah, I've been there too.
Yeah. So I'm doing some typing here. Yeah. So glad you guys are here. We appreciate everybody in the chat. I was just trolling Kevin Can Fly here. Every once in a while, you got to just troll random people in the chat. Yeah. So a couple of takeaways. Think about where you're heading. Think about where you're going to land, and give yourself some margin for error. The big mistake that I did right there was I didn't give myself any margins at all. I should have maybe thought about diverting over to the right, even though that tree was there. I could have. I'll give you an example. Had anything went differently, you can see where I would have ended up either destroying somebody's crops on one side or destroying someone's crops on the other. I got away with it, but yeah. So give yourself some margins, man. Don't just throw yourself into, cornering yourself. I'm good at spot landing, but I'm not super good at spot landing. Okay. So, and also you don't know if the winds are going to change a little bit, if it's going to get a little spicy, or if it's going to, you're down low. You want to give yourself some kind of a space for corrections. So I took a gust of wind, a little bump. You saw me stop for a second. Then I kind of swooped. That swoop normally, had there not been that strong a wind, I would have swooped, and then I would have just covered the rest of those plants and it would have landed on the big space on the other side, but did not happen. So again, not supposed to land down there. That was a huge mistake.
You remember
And
before,
lessons were learned.
You remember before the show, Ripa was saying he could have done better. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Ripa has been free flying quite a bit.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Robert,
it's
for
been-
sticking up for me.
He has been flying quite a bit.
Hey, Robert, this is Sandy Gaskins behind me.
Sandy
Freddie-
Gaskins.
That's right.
Hi.
Tim's niece.
What?
Tim Gaskins' niece. And she does shipping and receiving for Aviator.
Wow.
Nice.
Cool.
That's
Look
who
at
this
that.
is.
You got your debut on paraglidingtalk.com.
She's your new guest. See ya.
That is amazing. So shipping and receiving, I'm still waiting for my, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, how'd you Monday?
I used to mess with Sean used to work at Amazon, and every once in a while I would tell him, hey, can you go check on my package? I ordered this or that. And he'd be like, Robert, I can't go and just find stuff.
I honestly
doesn't
love
work
it
that
when,
way.
when people I know get stuff.
Yeah, you can
Oh, when you see it?
post.
Oh yeah, and because I like write little notes on every order, and so if it's someone I know, I'll like write something special. So I love
I'll
it.
block me. Watch.
Throw some extras in there.
He's trying to block Peregringo.
Extra stickers, extra candy. Oh yeah.
Ripa wrote something to David, and he blocked it or something, or David wrote something.
Oh, yeah.
To Ripa, and he blocked it, and all I did was copy it and repaste it.
Nice.
Now Ripa put David in timeout, and he's trying to put me in timeout. Is that what you're saying, Wolf?
No, I reported you.
I reported you.
He reported me.
Oh, that's
my
amazing.
whole one video of my daughter
Destruction of power right here.
gonna get pulled down.
Everything I do is for the show.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's Andy.
Nice to meet y'all.
It's good management. It's good
I had the
management.
pleasure of meeting
what is-
Sandy at Fly-ins.
So how
Sean,
many
I think
people-
I met you at Bad Apples last year. I remember because we were talking about the kiting war, and everyone was saying that you can kite for hours on end, and so I'm trying to get up to that level.
Yeah,
Calamity.
Oh, look out, Sean.
I'm
yeah,
trying to get up to
I
that
know,
level.
I know,
That's a goal.
absolutely.
y'all.
Yeah, I'll work with you on it a little bit.
Is
Get you
it
next flying.
Sandra in the Sky on YouTube?
No,
No,
no, no.
I haven't,
Different?
but I think it's just Sandy Gaskins, and then my other
Sandy
socials are
Gaskins.
Sandy the Squirrel.
Okay, Sandy the
Yeah,
Squirrel. I
different
like
people,
that.
Robert.
Okay.
Mine's an IE. Got a little finesse.
Would you believe
Okay,
Sandy
all
and I just
right.
had- Sandy and I and Tim and
Jerry.
Jerry just had a 30-minute meeting on planning for Bad Apples 2024. It's already starting.
Wow.
It's
That's
bigger and
serious
better.
business.
Oh,
Bigger
yeah.
and better next year.
If some of these things work out, it's gonna
It's
be
gonna be epic.
crazy.
I'm like, I wasn't gonna go. And now I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Last
gonna
year
be
was
epic.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So if this year can one up it, that's gonna be
It's gonna be better.
yeah for sure.
You guys have to have meetings right now because it's raining.
Yeah, okay, there's that reason too. Yeah, it's true.
That's
There's nothing
all
else.
you
We
got.
Sat around all day today. Just sat around and
Yeah.
watched the rain. But yeah, I'll tell you, the mountains look beautiful with the fog coming off the trees. It was just absolutely gorgeous, wasn't it?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He went
I'll
to
be
a movie.
looking forward to the videos.
Looks a little bit like Sean's backdrop.
He went to a movie.
I
Yeah,
went to a movie,
Oh,
yeah.
you went to the movie.
I saw Oppenheimer. What a good movie. About the atom bomb.
yep. I
Oh,
We
okay.
know you went
Brand
and
new?
saw Barbie.
That's right. He did. It's true.
I'm a Bobby boy. In a Bobby world.
Nice.
Well, it was good
So
meeting you. Hope to
Hey,
fly
it was great to meet you too.
at some point. Bad Apples next year. See you all there.
That's right.
Yeah, I have yet to make it to Bad Apples, but I definitely belong there.
You really should try to come this next year. Do we have the
Yeah.
date? yet?
Yes, we do. It is.
I'll write it down.
Try to come, man.
Spotlight.
Well, I mean, look, you don't have to worry about a place to stay. We'll figure that out. Okay. I got room. Rip has got room.
Okay. Taking notes here.
No, seriously, we got room. You don't have to worry about where you're staying or you don't have to worry about gear. Just come. Just be there.
What about paramotor?
You're fine.
What about a
take care
wing?
of it. We'll take care of it.
I've got priors for blowing up people's props.
All right, I'm coming with Robert. And it's true. He blows up props.
Funny how the internet stopped working right when I
Bad
said that.
Apples.
Funny, Todd. That's funny, Todd.
Bad Apples 2024, May 9th through 12th.
There it is.
Mother's Day weekend.
She called it. It's official now.
Yep. The countdown
Yeah.
is live
Yeah,
on
seriously.
our website.
If you guys come, don't worry about gear. Don't worry about, you'll be fine. I have flown plenty there. I don't need to fly there again. I'll bring my stuff. You can use my stuff.
Okay, good.
There'll be Travis Burns has a hang test, or someone else. Who else does? Darren Locklear, I think, sets up a hang test, so we'll get it all set up for you. No problem.
Cowboy PPG said he's got a
sleeping
sleep
bag
bag.
for you, Robert.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
Thanks, cowboy.
All right. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
So I bought a new harness. I want to share. I'm really excited about
What'd you get,
this, by the
Robert?
way.
I
I
hope you got a lightweight.
purchased. I did get lightweight, so it is the Woody Valley GTO Light 2.
Nice.
And it is really a modern marvel. I did a hang check last night, just played on it for just a second because I didn't have time. I started to pull out my reserve and get everything dialed in, and so it's all spread out all over
Any
the garage
picture
right
you
now.
sitting
So.
in the harness? I know there's got to be a picture.
No, not yet. I didn't even have a chance to.
Oh my.
But once I get it all dialed up, right after the show, actually, I'm going to go in there and get it all set up so I can fly it tomorrow after work. Yankee said I can borrow one of his wings. Thanks, Yank. Appreciate that. The idea of buying a new harness was because my harness is getting pretty much to the end of its usable life. And there are some degradation rules that you should look into on your gliders, not just your gliders, but on your harness as well. Yeah, it's really important to know what to expect is going to happen at that. So straps start to break, you're going to have structural failure. And then when you come to that place of structural failure, now you're talking about putting your life in your own hands. So I decided, my harness is not, it's not that it's not airworthy, but it's tired. And if I put some G's on that thing, I'm a little bit nervous that it's going to come apart structurally, and who knows what will happen. So we got the new one, really excited about that. Part of the reason why I bought the lightweight, I like lightweight stuff. I think I'm gonna keep my Alpina. I have the Alpina 4, and the mixture with the Alpina 4 and this lighter harness, I think is going to be the ticket for hike and flies. What do you say, Rip? Oh, I thought he was getting ready to say so.
I'm thinking lightweight harness too. I've been looking at them, but they're expensive. So I don't know. We'll see how my free flight career goes. If I start doing more towing down here in Florida, I might go for it.
Okay, so I have to admit that this harness was $2,000.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of cash.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having that said, it is amazing. That needs to be said. It is amazing. So now I say that without having flown it yet, just sitting in it for a second. I'm like, wow, this is great. Now there's a reason why I bought Woody Valley, because I already had a Woody Valley GTO. I just didn't have the light. I have the it's the X Alps harness that they came out with probably 2016. So it's got some miles on it. There's got kids trying to sneak in here. So that's that. I'm really excited about that. I'm considering getting another reserve, maybe a lighter reserve. So I'm going to do a little research on that, and just I'm thinking about kind of dialing everything up. And the other issue is I have my new glider. I have the Mantra 7. That is a D-wing, and the D-wing is a little more demanding, but I'm flying it where it needs to be, right at the top. So I guess that wing likes to be flown at the top. I've heard this from numbers of people. As a matter of fact, with my other harness, I was over the top by a few pounds. So now lightweight puts me right where I need to be, and right at the top. So there's that. I'm also excited about some of the features, because the Woody Valley from 2016 or 20, I think it might be even 2014. It's pretty old. And that setup, there's a lot of little modifications that they made for this new one after all the people talked about what they wanted, what they liked, what they didn't like, and it's all narrowed down to this really excellent thing. That's probably why it's so expensive. Some of you are going to ask, where did you buy it? I actually called Eagle Paragliding here in town, hooked me up, and I talked to one of the guys there that he's been with Eagle for many of years. I'm going to try to get him on the show. Eagle Paragliding is a great place to paraglide. I haven't flown there yet, but they have a great school. So I was considering going down there to pick it up, and they were like, no, we'll ship it for free. I'm like, all right, send it or bend it. I'll take
Woody
it.
Valley's been a good known company too. I mean, they put out some good gear.
Yep. Yeah. So 2 more things I need to get, and then I think my kit will be dialed for massive XC flying.
Columbia.
Yeah. Maybe not
Private
Columbia,
Bravo.
but I really want to do that big flight from Blossom to Palm Springs. It's like 100 miles. And it's not completely undoable for me. I don't know. I'm still in that lower level on XC abilities. I made a grave mistake. I was right next to another pilot who's really good, by the way, Ryan Bloom. He's been on the show. Ryan and I were sharing the same thermals. We made the big giant triangle all around Blossom. And when we came back, we both hit that south wind, which when it's south at Blossom, you're going to the bottom. And that's exactly what happened. Tony had already experienced it before we got there. And then when we showed up, both of us ended up really low on Amen Ridge. And we worked our ways back up, but he was able to actually save it. And he ended up landing at the trucks. I was not able to save it because I'm just not quite there yet on managing properly thermals. And I also blame it on being a couple pounds over the top because I haven't got to my new harness yet. Let's spin the wheel real quick. Let
Yes,
Sean
no
off
more
of
names
work.
in the wheel. Ha. I'm
Yep.
just calling it because we had a little bit of minute delay, and sometimes
Yep.
people come in at last minute. They're like, I'm here. Like, oh, wait a minute. Wait till the
Over
last second, dog.
here.
I know,
Put
right?
me in, Sean.
You didn't put my name in after it's already, finished
Yeah.
finally spinning.
Robert, did you say how much
So-
your harness weighs?
I think it's 5 kg.
Okay.
Nice.
5 kg.
Okay.
Yeah, very light.
Here we go.
I
Ready?
do want to mention something before we spin this wheel, or you can just spin it. I'll keep talking. Paramotor Life. I'm not sure if he has the website or not, but yeah, Dave Wolf, he's got a podcast. He's got it on Spotify, and I guess there's a Facebook group or something like that. So if you want to be a part of that, Paramotor Life, I guess just look that up, and we'll talk a little bit about that after we spin the wheel.
All right. Spinning.
Oh, he doesn't have the website. You should get it and then try to sell it to him.
I'm gonna go get it. It's only
Anthony,
$10.
Yeah, lock that
Anthony,
down.
Anthony listened to that
bucks.
first podcast. How was that, Anthony?
Hey, you know what? It was great. I actually listened in 2 breaks, but during work, because I got nothing to do there really. I just kind of sit around and spin around a little bit. And then
Yeah, right.
Whenever I see, I got a mirror by my desk, and whenever I see Robert come through the door, then I look really, really busy. Yeah, no, it was great. We had David Wolf and his son. It was boy, your son's getting older, man. I can't tell your guys' voice apart. It's really close. So
I know it's hard. I even had a hard time telling us apart. Hey, I just made a comment trying to make Robert a little money here. So let's see if anybody responds to it.
Wait, what is it?
John Wayne. Oops.
John Wayne, I think he's got it. John Wayne, congratulations.
John Wayne, congratulations. Winner, chicken dinner. I'm going to send you a whole bushel of great stuff. So you're going to get, I still have some extra large episode 200 paragliding talk shirts. I'm going to send you one of those. I'm going to send you the microchip holder, the little 3D printed microchip deals. And then I'm going to send you one of those clip-on mirror holders and a bunch of stickers. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of the show every week, John Wayne. Congratulations. So, John Wayne, I need you to go to the website, paraglidingtalk.com/contact. Put your information in there so I know where to send it. I know I've sent you stuff before, but I still need it because I don't save the information. Probably should. We got repeat winners. Oh, Aaron and I need some new shirts. Yeah. What size are you, Aaron? Okay, so having that said, I do want to mention Calamity Kite Clinic. CalamityKiteClinic.com is the website. And Jared K donated $20 to the super chat. He said, and contributing 1% towards your new harness, Paragliding Talk Rocks. Thanks, Jared. I appreciate that.
I think half of that was supposed to go towards smacking Ripa. But don't smack Ripa. You got to kiss him on the forehead. You got to kiss him on the forehead. Don't smack Ripa.
Let me see here. What's going on here? I'm looking back in the chat.
I'd rather be smacked than to get a kiss on the forehead.
Let me see here. John, cool.
Come on.
First person.
Did you
David
put
Wolf
something
said,
in the chat?
Yeah.
David Wolf said, first person to make a $10 donation, I will smack Ripman Riding. Leave a comment saying Ripman rocks. Smack him anyway.
I'm trying to help you, Robert.
Yeah,
Trying to get
that's
a new paramotor, another paramotor.
Go ahead.
I don't know if Ripman is going to be
Okay,
okay
wait
with
for the
that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll play along for you, Robert. I'll take one for the team.
The money is actually going towards the internet because I have to buy Starlink because the internet is so incredibly horrible here that I can't even put out a quality video.
Robert, that was my demise too.
Golly. So
Without
I
Starlink,
have to buy Starlink. Starlink is $800.
Podcasters,
That's right.
do it in your basement.
$800.
So true.
Yeah. So that's that. And we're right now at like 300 with that $20. We're like $320. So we got a few more episodes to get there. And I'm really just, I'm holding. See, what happens is if I buy something like that and call it for the show, then my wife's going to want to buy other stuff. So I can't buy it unless it's with the show money. All the men know exactly what I'm talking about. No women watch this show
No
except for
clue.
mom.
Now, can you
Yeah.
please go into very specific details and help me understand, Robert?
Yeah, Sean, you're safe from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like
Thinking
Spock.
about that. It's so true. It's like first 30% goes to Uncle Sam. Second 30%
Yep.
goes to your healthcare and benefits and your 401k. And then
Yep.
for me, the third 30% goes to Jenny. She gets the third
Yep.
30%. And I get
Yeah.
nothing.
And if you buy something and your wife knows and she'll be like, "Did we need that?"
That's right.
Because I do it to my wife. We're at the grocery store. I'll be like, "Is that on the list?" You know? And yeah. So I have to be very diligent. So yeah, donate now. Donate today for paraglidingtalk.com. And then it's $100 a month compared to the $50 a month for crappy internet. So there's that. Yeah, Cowboy said Elon loves you. Yeah, it's true. We saw the Starlink last night cruising across the sky. Has anybody seen that yet? It's insane.
Wow.
We are in 2023 for sure.
You just seem
But you're not.
We are in the
You got
future.
dial up.
Well, I wanted to make sure it was going to work first before I go and sign up for that crap. Because Elon's not going to give your money back if it don't work. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's
So
gonna work.
you saw my embarrassing landing. I did see a question in the chat about harnesses. Mad Sloper said, "What's the difference between a beginner pod harness and say a Sup Air Strike 2 pod harness?" Robert Michaels. Well, I have to argue that the pod harness in general is we'll say, not excellent. You don't have to be in that top echelon of piloting, but you need to be good. I would argue you should be a P3 before you get into the pod. Tell you why. When you get into chaos, your feet being out in front of you is not going to help your twisted situation, right? So your feet being out in front of you, what happens when you get into a situation? Oh, mom just donated $5 to Super Chat. Mom, you should not have been doing that. I owe you money for posting on Facebook about paragliding talk. So when your feet are out in front of you and let's say you get wound up in a situation, you actually want to bring your feet in and tuck them underneath you. If you look at most acro pilots, they're not flying with pods for a reason. You want to bring your feet in, and it has to do with that momentum when you're spinning around. If you've ever sat in a swing and you start getting wild and turning back and forth, it's that same kind of motion and same kind of energy management. So you bring your feet in, and you're going to be able to unwind yourself much faster or make the corrections much faster. So you really have to think about your flying a lot more when you're flying a pod because your feet out in front of you. That's the only thing that I would argue. I'll tell you the benefits are great. Once you get used to it, keeps you really nice and warm in the winter. And you're saying, well, I only fly in the summer. Well, I have been chilly at the top of lift. We did a 10,000-foot day at Elsinore. And when you're up at the top, I was glad to have a jacket on. I mean, I was even fogging up my visor. It was chilly up there. I don't know what temperature it was, but it was cold. On the ground, it was 95. So you would think, oh, well, that's a good lapse rate. And that's why we were flying to 10,000 feet. But at 10,000 feet, it was chilly. If you think about it, you look at the mountains here in Southern California, they're on the peak. What is that? 14,000, Whitney? There's a reason why there's still snow up there, because it's cold at that altitude. So the pod harness keep you nice and warm. You've got also the benefits have to do with your legs are protected from the wind, and if you fly through bushes like me, there's some nice protection there. What else? I really like the aerodynamics. And does it help? Probably doesn't make a lick of difference. They say that it does. They say that it does. But if you're flying on like a B wing and you're flying a pod because you're wanting to get that extra performance, let's be real, you're probably not going to get extra performance with that. Just saying. But when you're flying that Enzo, and that's the direction that you're heading, you're going to be flying cross country flying, start learning now in a pod. Don't wait until you're like, oh, now I want to learn to fly a pod. You've been flying for years. Start now. If you know you're going to fly XC, get into a pod harness. And obviously, don't take my word for it. I'm still the new guy. I feel like I'm still the new guy. Talk to your instructor who's been flying for a long time. I would argue he's going to have you the best information. Here's some other. So sorry, Mad Sloper. I beat around the bush on that answer, but I don't think there is a difference. I don't think there is a beginner pod harness. I could be wrong. I don't know what would be beginner about it. Getting in and out of that pod harness is kind of a pain in the butt. You got to get your feet out way ahead of time.
I think the main catch is less
Sloper.
drag. Like as far as a drag from the air, you're more slipstream in a pod harness as opposed to having your legs flopping and kicking all over the place with the wind.
Yeah, we like to refer to the noobs, new people. We call them kooks, and they fly starfish. So they're flying around. They're just starfish flying around. Yeah, I was that guy, so I can make fun of myself. Yankee Paramotor says 12% drag reduction. It's big.
So they can't get any more speed out of the gliders, and what they're doing is they're working with the harness development to get more speed. They said they've got the unsheathed lines, the two liners, and they've done what they can with the glider, and now it's like they're working with the harnesses to get them more aerodynamic and get more speed. That's it.
Yeah, look at the torpedo.
Yeah, I know. You saw that ozone torpedo thing, right?
Submarine. I
Yeah,
want to state this officially on Paragliding Talk. Friends don't let friends fly submarines. Yeah, they're just weird. That just rubbed a whole bunch of people the wrong way. I hope somebody clips that and sends that out in a short. Friends don't let friends fly submarines. They're so weird looking. What in the world? No one here flies those, so it's fine. I can fly PPG. He said, is it still raining at Moonshiners? I'm at Lawrence Air Park near Huntington. It was dry and butter tonight. Headed down to Tennessee tomorrow. West Virginia.
I let him know that it was, it would stop.
Okay. Well, now if you go there, Ken, you're gonna mess it up. It's gonna rain now.
Not mean to you.
I'm just
Anthony.
kidding, Ken.
Oh, Anthony. Oh, Anthony. It's a joke, Anthony.
David Wolf.
What happened?
Ohio.
He's
so Oh, mean to me, man.
So mean.
He
Oh,
was,
I
he was
wasn't
being
happy.
kind of
All I
mean
do
to
is
Gringo. I
support
felt
it.
kind of bad for Gringo. I didn't even say anything. I was just like, oh
Come
man, that's
on, it
harsh.
was a
That makes
joke.
my butt hurt a little bit. You
Read
know,
that-
like man.
Read up through the chat. You'll see what I wrote about Anthony.
Oh, nice. Fat guy in a little
That's right.
coat.
I love
Richard,
Anthony.
what's happening to me? It's a great movie. I had to do that to one of my jackets. I don't know what the heck happened. It just shrank to the max. And I did that whole scene. So I did want to talk a little bit about dealing with angry people. Had a little episode where we flew and I'm gonna just kind of recap quickly. You probably saw the video already. I flew from Palomar, and the video is called Welcome to Palomar 2. And I landed on this guy's property that has a bunch of cattle, and not everybody is super stoked about what we're doing. So you just assume because you're so excited about it, everybody loves it. But this guy, he was not exactly excited. And he came rolling up to where I was with a shotgun on the back of his rack on his cart. Now he didn't have it out. He wasn't holding it, but I guarantee he was ready to rock and roll at any second if he wanted to. That could have went really bad. And so I landed there. I saw the livestock. I avoided the livestock. I had a pretty hard landing, and I folded up my stuff, put my, I'm dusting off my shame. And he came rolling up, and one thing I want to tell you, if you've got the camera, have the camera rolling. That's really important. That way you can also reflect on the stupid things you say when it gets wild. But this guy was not happy. He was cussing. He was, nothing directly at me, but he was like, you guys think you own the whole world and you can't just be landing anywhere. And I don't think he understood that I didn't really have control. I guess I do have control and I don't have to fly, but I landed in a place. This is this guy's backyard, man. And he owns like 50 or 60 acres. And he tells me his boundaries, just like, I own this property all the way from here to there, from here to there. And I'm like, oh man. And he's really mad. I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry, man. I really, I was with my friends right here, and they were still in the air. Luckily, I'm like, I was with my friends right now, and I missed the thermal that they're in, and I landed over here, and I'm sorry for what, I stepped on your daisies. What? Sorry. Well, the way around that is to be as humble as you can and apologetic as you can. Obviously, there's a point, but it de-escalated him. Now, here's the mistake a lot of guys will make. They'll escalate it even worse. And for whatever reason, whether it's you're trying to get some extra clicks, or you're trying to make the video fun, or you have a bad temper, that's the very last thing that we need for the sport. So chill out. Don't try to fight people. And I landed on his property.
So I guess it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work if you were like, well, I was in the air and I saw these fire ants and I saw you walking and I thought, oh no. So I took care of the fire ants for you. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
I
Caught
only
them all.
charged $1,000
They're all
an
right
hour,
here
but I
in
did
this
it free for
bag.
you. I did it free
Yep.
for you, man. I took
Yeah,
those
this
fire ants
bag
on.
is full.
Yeah.
This is not a paraglider. This is a bag full of ants. I want to mention Nebraska PBG. Josh Bowden, he runs the school in Nebraska. If you're interested in getting some top-notch training, you can sign up with Josh and his team today. There's a link in the description. Also want to mention Lone Star Paramotor. If you're in the Lone Star state of Texas, you want to get some world-class training, LoneStarParamotor.com. Ron Turan has a great organization over there. Go check them out. Also, I need to mention MaxAcro.com. MaxAcro.com is the website. That's Max Marion. He runs the SIV clinic here at Lake Berryessa most of the time. He's got some great SIV clinics lined up, some traveling SIV clinics you're not going to want to miss. They're incredible. If you're thinking about upping your game and being a safer pilot, SIV is the way to go. Train yourself, know what the glider is going to feel like when it's going crazy. And you'll just, after your SIV, you will enjoy paragliding just a little bit more. And I think the more that you do SIVs, the more that flying is incredibly enjoyable, because you'll understand what your glider is capable of and what it's going to do. And so you're not caught off guard. No mysteries. Resurgence PPG. If you are interested in supporting our men and women of uniform, you can make a tax-deductible donation to resurgencepppg.com. By donating, you're sponsoring those who put their lives on the line for your freedom. If you want to support them, reach out to Todd Scandrett at resurgencepppg.com. Make a donation. It's tax-deductible, and you will be happy because you're helping someone in the community. And especially those are some of our wounded warriors and veterans that have laid it all down. That's what's important. We need to keep those guys happy and keep them protected. So the how to deal with angry people, I wanted to talk about that. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about before we're out of time, and we're almost there, is understanding the rules, understanding flight rules. And so we fly under FAR 103 regulations. It's funny that Gringo's sign says FAR 103.19. No person shall fly an ultralight vehicle in this park. And yeah, realistically, they can't mandate
I
that.
see it as,
But
I see the city of San Diego is handing out souvenirs. That's how I see it.
yeah, so San Diego, paramotoring is prohibited. What's funny to me is that they identified paramotoring. Paramotoring, how random. I'll tell you how sparse that is. If you typed in paramotoring, I bet you right now that your autocorrect would try to change it, or it would show as a misspelled word. Because nobody knows what paramotoring is. This is a hater. Okay, anyways, I don't want to get too deep into that. Study your rules. I had a misconception about flight rules and studying airspace and going down this trail. And actually, it was Jeff Hammond who enlightened me about a bunch of freedoms that I was missing out on with flying paramotors and free flying, by the way. Knowing what airspaces are at different times. We will look at the airspace or the aeronautical art, and we'll look at certain airspaces and we'll say, okay, this, I'll tell you what happened. Jeff showed me a picture flying over the Coronado Bridge. That is in like the most congested airspace that I know of on the planet. You have Coronado Air Base. Okay, that's a United States Air Force base. Right across the water, you have Class B airspace for Lindbergh Field. That is a huge airfield. Then right across from there, you have the helicopter port for the reserves for the rescue helicopter they use for flying over the ocean. Insane airspace, and they got permission to fly through there. I forgot to mention that right across from Coronado, they have a helicopter base for the military that they're doing military operations, and not too far from there, you have Brownfield. I mean, if you look at their nautical chart, it is insane what's happening all around there. And then you've got Miramar Base to the north. So when he posted that video, or when he showed me the picture, I'm like, how did you get? So he did his homework, figured out that if he flew at a certain time on a certain day and got in communication with the towers, he was able to fly it legally. So knowing the rules, do some research, do some study, you're going to find that you can fly way more places than you thought. And look at your times and look at what it takes. And maybe we'll do a show on that and talk about opening up freedom. Yeah. Jeremy, let me just see this real quick. Any advice about protecting IZs, LZs. Sorry, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. There are a couple newbies in my area, and these LZs aren't too beginner friendly. LZs are precious, but I'm not entitled to keep people from flying there. Yeah, Jeremy, that is a very tough one. Here's what I recommend: make friends with those people as quickly as you can. And if the landing zone is on someone's property, bribe them with cookies and money. That's my advice. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. When you lose an LZ, if you're talking free flight, by the way, I don't know, Jeremy, if you're talking about just paramotoring, you're calling that an LZ as a launch zone or a landing zone. Yeah, it is a tough one. I would argue that you're going to win more favor with being nice to people, and especially in the flying community. If you can try to win them over, they will listen to you much, much better. If you're friends, if you're not friends, they may make it worse.
Yeah, I was
That's
taking
my
it as
advice.
he was mentioning like other people that are flying possibly being a
Mhm.
problem for the LZ, that maybe perhaps they're
Yeah.
exhibiting some dangerous behaviors or flying characteristics that are not, appropriate for
Yep.
the area.
That's the way I got it too. If you can try to get their phone number, that's a really important thing. That way you can text. It's a little easier to send a text message than it is to talk to somebody face to face. That's the way I roll.
He is
I really
talking
like talking
PPG.
with people.
Yes. By the
Yeah.
way.
So if it's paramotoring, I would argue it's a good idea to to know the surroundings. Is there livestock? Is there people that are, we'll call them sensitive? Try to be as cool as you can to everyone around there if you want to keep that LZ. It's difficult, man. I've got a situation now. I moved into a house that I can launch from the front yard. We have, since February, we've been on a campaign trail to politically help everyone around this neighborhood except our flying. Now, we're going to fly, right? No matter what, we're going to fly. But for example, they have a little community event where they rally and they raise money for this guy that paves the roads and keeps the dirt roads really nice. And so once we found out that was happening, we're like, we're going to be there. And we brought some food and a good attitude, and, just come and talk to everybody and be nice to everybody. My wife made a bunch of banana bread and we're giving that out to them. We talk to the neighbors. We let them know, we shake their hands, we look them in the eyes and be kind. And when you do that, I'm telling you, when they can relate, when they just hear the noise and they see you flying around, like, yeah, that guy. But when they know you and you're cool and you're nice, people will put their guard down if you're a cool person. And that goes the same when we were talking earlier about the old farmer that was mad. As soon as I could relate to him on his cattle, because I grew up on a little ranch. I told him I grew up on a horse. I used to ride my horse to school. Me and my little brother used to ride bulls. My brother was a sponsored bull rider for a little while, and then we have I'm just trying to throw things out there. I'm like, yeah, I knew my mom was the PRCA photographer for many of years, and so she went to every rodeo, and I got to meet famous cowboys, and I tried all that with this guy. And it wasn't until after I shared all that he was actually cool. He gave me a ride off of his property. So anyways, try to be cool with people. That's my advice. And sorry if I don't get to any more questions. I really appreciate you guys watching. We're going to go to the after show. If you want to join us on the after show, there'll be a link in the description. Come hang out with us for a little bit. And really appreciate everybody that's been supporting the show, Patreon and PayPal. The show is it's near and dear to my heart. I probably would have stopped doing it a long time ago. But I do really enjoy coming every week and hanging out with you guys. So support the show on Patreon, PayPal. There's links in the description if you want to do that. And next week we're gonna have Kyle O'Glee. He's gonna come on the show. So we'll have some fun with Kyle O'Glee. And if you want to join us, Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Paraglidingtalk.com. Thanks for
And-
watching. If I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in there. Have a great night.